New ELLATTE came out and unfinished his rotation. Speedy pulled. He was awake earlier than me. But he didn't finish the rotation. I'm going to finish it because she's actually pretty good. And I could use... I think she could use the dupes. Oh, big! I'm just going to skip every single multi. I'm just gonna I don't care enough to wait. But in any case, she's pretty good. I don't mind having extra dupes for her. She is definitely a character that... Not the character herself, you know, no one cares about ELLATTE, but what she does is something that we've been waiting for a long time. Just anything for goddesses. Anything. And she is anything. She's not the best. She really isn't. She is no Nanashi. But she's doing something. So, something is quite a bit better than nothing. And that's how I see it. It seems like we're only getting the pity. Is what it is. I don't think chasing for more dupes than just this pity is worth it because goddesses don't... Nice, 2 Camillas instead of even a single ELLATTE. Goddesses don't really want to go first. It's not that big of a deal. So the extra CC for the ultimate is not that big of a deal. I kind of already went over a little bit of what she does in the Margaret LR video, but she's essentially Echidna. In terms of her passive, that is. Her cards have nothing of the sort, but for every goddess on the field, ally goddess, all allies get 5% basic stat, so she's a 15% basic stat buffer. She is the only goddess basic stat buffer apart from Sauriel, I believe. Even though Sauriel like doesn't even work in the back, she works in the back, so she's a back unit. We're gonna be using her in the front for the purpose of the video, but she's a back unit. And for each buff on goddesses, increases damage dealt by 3% up to 8 times. This is not individual buff per person, this is like total buff, so one Margaret blue card is going to be 6 buffs. Not total for the whole thing, but close. Take off alt gauge card, not the best, but heal card, also not the best. Her ult is defense increase. I forgot what her relic does. Oh yeah, this is a knighthood battle relic. This is knighthood battle. Yeah, so you can tell she's not meant to be used in the in the front. If anything, it just looks like she's a knighthood battle unit. You look at it, she gives 20% basic stats to goddesses on top of her, you know, knighthood battle passive. It just looks like you're meant to actually only really use her in Guild Boss, but she did come out with Margaret, which is a PvP character, or PvP-esque character. Honestly, I don't know. This is what we're going to be using. Could use Nanashi in the back for Nanashi purposes, but I'm going to keep it full goddesses, why not? Basically, all she's doing is being a basic stat buffer. And it's like... the basic stat buff that she provides is not big. It's only 15%. Comparatively to, you know, other teams that have proper basic stat buffers, this is a joke, right? You compare this to Unknown. Unknown is the biggest offender of being having too much basic stat buff, while other teams lack. You know, this is the only real option goddesses have. This is why, bro, you know who should have been the LR? Sauriel. They could have expanded on his passive. Whatever. This is my last time mentioning the Sauriel should have been the festival. Or sorry, the LR. I think it's not worth to keep talking about it. Could this kill? I kind of think it's more worth killing her. Lower her crew resistance. Really, Mael? Really? I got the Mael sucks. I definitely need to use Margaret more, but legit, with everything I've seen so far for Margaret, I would say that if you have other LRs you have to make, I would prioritize them. Like, unless the next festival is a goddess, I see no reason why you would make Margaret's festival over the other festivals we have, because especially Liz. If you don't have festival Liz, she should be your main priority. She is very, very strong. Not a PvP character or whatever, but ELLATTE has horrible stats, by the way. Just want to point that out. She's it's like she's a back unit, but she has the passive of front unit. You know what I mean? Like, she has Echidna passive, but she's a back unit because you can't use her in the front. It's like she's not even really meant to be used, really, in PvP, is she? I'm telling you, she's like a knighthood battle character when you look at it. So, I don't even know why I'm bringing her in PvP. But she's the best option goddesses have. And, you know, she just came out with Margaret. So you'd think, you know, they would run well together. But it's just not. It's just not the case, is it? Like, oh, but she's meant to be running the back. You know, you're judging her in the front right now. She has a front unit passive. Like, if she was really meant to be running the back, she would have a passive like... Does he have Tarmalink? No. Like Ram or like Nanashi. Like, straight up 20% basic stats. Right? 20%. She does 15. We've had 20% basic stat buffers for years now. Years. And goddesses get their first, like, basic stat buffer for real, because like Sauro is not really a basic stat buffer. He doesn't work in the back, and he requires his own like stats. He's just strange. Like, he's not a proper basic stat buffer. Goddesses get their first basic stat buffer, and it's 15. Like, what is wrong with them? Unknown has OP Festival, has AOP Festival, and has OP characters. They have tier, bro. They have tier. Whatever. Whatever, man. Just do. I'm kind of, if you don't know why I'm doing it like this, it's because I'm kind of debuffing myself to then cleanse. So I'll get full Margaret passive. This will give me the 20% crit chance and crit damage. I just wish that she would be able to get her freaking full passive of 40% basic stats faster now. It takes so long. It's 5 buff cards. Like I said, unless the next festival is a goddess and also has a freaking stance or a buff card, I think Margaret's LR is kind of a miss. In terms of what she does. Like, they take into account that you have a 40% basic stat buffer, Margaret, but not how stupid hard it is to get the whole thing. 5 whole buff cards, while Unknown has a 30% basic stat buffer, straight up, no conditions. That it's not even comparable, right? Nanashi is a vastly better basic stat buffer than Margaret could ever hope to be, right? So, I don't know. They could have made that passive a little bit easier to get, I think. Again, that all becomes irrelevant if the case arrives that the next festival is a goddess, but that is just, you know, impossible to know. Alright, Miles gonna have to kill this, or we're lost, so. He's gonna have to double kill her. Alright. Goddesses are still pretty ass. So, is what it is.